Hi and welcome to our channel. Every year when school is out, we like to do a reading challenge here. I pick a book for Kate to read and she picks out a book for me.
So we've done this 2 times before with some very interesting results.
Kate never likes the books that I pick out for her. I have a winner this time. I'm sure that I know she is going to like this book.
I hope. I really hope.
At least not dislike it.
I'm getting sick of the really strange books.
This one is a fun one. I think she'll like it. So I'm a little bit concerned though of what she has picked out for me.
Yeah, it's a book I want your opinion on.
Okay, so we'll see. All right, let's take a look at the books.
Okay, so the book I chose for her is this one.
Oh no, I recognize that book.
The Crystal World by J.G. Ballard.
Yes, Kate described it as a fever dream.
Yes, I talked about this in our What We've Been Reading for April, I believe.
And it's long.
It's not that long.
Okay.
It's not that long. And I want your opinion on this book because it's just so weird.
Yeah, another viewer commented that it was a little bit strange, so I'll give it a whirl. I'm up for this. Okay, and then the book that I have picked out for Kate, this one came from one of our big bins of donated Catholic library books, and it's called The Hell Catholic by Father X. So when
Father X,
Father X, remember
him.
Okay, so when I saw this book, I thought, I'm just going to read this. The title was so intriguing, and it was so good. It was funny, it was thought-provoking, but that's all I'm telling her. It's really good. Okay, so here you go, exchanging the books. So as you know, the rules are we have 2 weeks to read the book, and then we'll keep you posted as we go along. Okay, so I'm getting ready to start the book that Kate picked out for me, The Crystal World. I'm a little bit nervous because dystopian fantasy type novels aren't usually my go-to type of book to read. It does have a Jesuit in it though, so maybe I'll like it. I have 2 weeks and I want to get a head start because the next 2 weeks are going to be pretty busy for me with different things in church, so hopefully, this will be a good one and I won't be able to put it down and I'll just get it done right away. We'll see.
All right, so I have started the Hell Catholic. I'm a little bit into it, and so far we are following our protagonist who calls himself a Hell Catholic, meaning he just does all the things and checks all the boxes because he is scared of going to hell. And he is going on a boat voyage over to tour Europe to see if that'll change things and help him out a little bit in his faith. So it's interesting so far. Not really sure what's going to happen or where it's going to go, but we shall see.
Okay, so I'm sitting here with Pagan Cat. She has made herself right at home here with me while I've been reading. So I have finished the first chapter. I met the 3 main characters. One of them wears white, one of them wears black, and one of them is a doctor. There's a lot of description about the scenery. I'm just not a super big scenery description fan, so I don't know. There doesn't seem to be a really big hook for me with this book. I don't feel like, I can't wait to see what happens next.
The protagonist in this book has a lot of very interesting, very candid comments about all the sights he's seeing in Europe. And I have to say that is probably one of my favorite parts of the book. He's just very honest and very funny.
Okay, I'm about a third of the way into the book, and I have to say it reminds me a little bit of an Indiana Jones movie. Lots of action, lots of adventure, a high-speed boat chase, people fighting, people on the run, mysterious people coming in and out. So, that's mildly interesting, but at almost 60 pages into the book, I still have really no idea what the main challenge is for the characters. What is the main problem that they're trying to overcome? So that's a pretty long lead-in for this book. I'm just going to keep on going. I hope it gets better.
All right, so it is a few days later, and I've spent a lot of time just curled up in my chair with my blanket, doing my reading, and I am now about halfway through The Hell Catholic. It's been very interesting so far, It took me a little while to get into his writing style, to sort of adjust to it and get in that flow, but it finally happened. And I have to say that I am enjoying it so far. It's just an interesting little story, just following him around, seeing what he's doing, where he's going, all their time spent on the boat. That was very interesting, lots of stuff going on there. And now he's in Europe and going to see all the sights, so I'm excited to see where that goes.
Okay, so I'm about halfway through the book. I'm on page 88, but it wasn't until page 86 that we find out what the problem is. Of course, if you read the back of the book, you're going to know right away, but it is confirmed on page 86 that there is a physics problem in the jungle. Matter and antimatter particles are colliding and causing a problem in the fourth dimension and a time leak. And this is causing jewel-like crystals to form and encase living things like the crocodiles and the birds and kill them. However, of course, the main characters can all run around the jungle and they are not affected, luckily for them, right?
And hey, we have a little St. Therese cameo in here.
Okay, so I'm reading this book while I'm working on dinner, and now we have the addition of another woman, a love interest. We kind of have a Charlotte Bronte situation going on here with the wife and the two men, and we just can't know if the author is telling us anything of the truth. You know, is any of this true at all? We don't know. So that's a little bit annoying. Also, there are a lot of characters coming in and out of the story, and it's hard to really know them or care about them. So again, while the writing isn't really bad, the story is just kind of out of control.
All right, so I'm getting closer and closer to the end in here. It's been good. I have my helper down here who is not doing any sort of helping at all. He's just sleeping while I'm reading.
I'm done. Hooray. I am done with this book. I did a big push last night because I just wanted it to be over. What can I say about it? Well, I'm glad it's over. That's one thing. There wasn't a lot of closure at the end. We didn't really find out what happened to a lot of people. Kate had originally described this book as a lot of people running around the jungle shooting at each other, and that's pretty much what you get in this book. It reminds me of a pack of puppies playing, right? Because puppies only have two games. I chase you, you chase me, I bite you, you bite me. That is the summary of this book.
All right, so I have finished The Hell Catholic by Father X. Still not really sure who he is, but here we are. And it was definitely a good book. Not one of my most favorite books that I've ever read, but it was a good story and I did have a good time. There is a character in this book who is not Catholic, but is very interested in the faith. And I just love some of the explanations about just, you know, quote unquote, simple aspects of our faith that the author writes, you know, just the stuff that are basic questions that non-Catholics would ask. And we just kind of take for granted, but he has some really beautiful explanations in there that I really, really loved. I think that's something that the older authors do really well. So it was a good time. It was a short time, but I'm glad I read it. And I think this finally breaks my streak of getting bad books in these challenges.
Okay, so here we are. 2 weeks later, we both finished our books on time. Hooray.
Yep. And like I said earlier, this is probably the best book I've gotten out of these challenges yet.
That's what I like to hear.
Yes. Was it my most favorite book ever? No, but I still did enjoy the story.
It was so good. It was so much fun, right?
It's a good book.
The Hell Catholic is a young man about Kate's age.
So he's not. I think he's like in his 20s.
Well, he's old enough to be out of high school, but he's fallen in with a rough crowd. So his parents were hoping that sending him to Europe with his uncle, who is also a priest,
would shape him up a little bit.
My favorite part of the book was when he talks about how hard it is having an uncle who's a priest, because when you go to confession and he makes sure you go, he already knows everything you've done wrong. And if you forget, he's very quick to remind you. Okay, so would you recommend this book, Kate?
Sure, I guess, yeah. It's a good book. Definitely could also be sort of an apologetics book if you wanted it to be. Because like I mentioned, there's some really good answers about the faith in this book.
A lot of interesting characters in the book also. So Father X for the win. And then there was my book. Hooray. Yeah, so yeah, Kate.
I knew what I was giving you when I gave you that book.
It was so confusing, Kate. I don't know. Did I miss something? Did we ever find out what happens to the main characters in this one? I mean, maybe I missed it and you caught it.
Nope.
No, okay.
I am just as clueless about this book.
We never find out what happens with the time leak. Is anybody able to fix that? We never find out what happens to any of the main characters. They're just still out there in the jungle, just doing their jungle thing, which scares me a little because that makes me think that there could possibly be a sequel to this one. And I'm just saying, if there is, do not sign me up for that. I'm good. I'm good with, I read the first one. Yeah. So this challenge is good because it did push me to read something outside of my usual genre. To be honest, Kate, if I had found this on my own and started reading it, it would have been a did not finish. But I persevered to the end for you.
Yep. When I found it, I wanted something different. So that checked the box. I was like, this is weird, but whatever.
Yeah, definitely different. And there was a priest in it, although...
he's a little kooky.
Yeah, he's a little kooky. He is in it, but... I don't know.
It's not a religious book.
It's not. Yeah, I was hopeful at first, but it's not. And there was one scene when one of the main characters goes into a church and he is helped by the Holy Cross. But then the author just downplays it. So it wasn't really the cross. So yeah. So there. Yeah.
It's the whole. All right. So that was our picking each other's read round 3, I believe. We had one good one, one bad one.
That seems to be our average,
yeah,
a big hit and a big flop. Well, maybe not a big flop, but a flop for me anyway.
We always enjoy doing this. Lots of fun.
It is.
A little bit of arguing, but we like it.
So we're glad that you shared this experience with us. Definitely check out Father X, so good. And I don't know what to say. Maybe not avoid.
You're not missing anything.
Yeah, you're not missing anything. There you go.
All right, so we hope you enjoyed the video. Let us know if you would like us to do a round 4 at some point. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thanks for watching.